Good evening, everyone. So, you're probably watching the State of the Union right now, and I'm sorry to interrupt that programming for a very important message. I just wanted to come and say hi because I actually just talked to a good friend of mine who is thinking about starting a side business while he's working full time. And there were so many thoughts that flooded my mind. Like, I wish I could have talked to him for like 3 hours straight about this because, like, this is the stuff that like pumps me up that I like to talk about. So, if he's watching, hi, this is kind of an extension of our conversation. Actually, you're going to see a few little pieces that we already talked about. But I thought it was super important because there were a lot of things that he was talking about that I'm like, yes, a lot of people feel that way. So I'm like, I'm gonna go live and I'm going to tell everybody that they're not alone. And one thing that I wanted to hone in on something that he said, which is that he was dead scared that knowing that 80% of businesses fail, that he would just be that statistic, that he's just going to have a plan B. If this doesn't go where he wants it to go in the next year, then he can get a job anywhere else. Now, if you guys are anything like me, anything like him, anything like a lot of people who are in corporate out there, you are actually really good at your job. And it's not like you hate it. You love it. You like what you do. You love the people you're around. And in fact, having a life for the next 20 years where you're performing this job is not the end of the world. You're going to be making a lot of money. You can upgrade your house or build that addition in your house that you've been wanting to make. Your kids' college is going to be taken care of. I mean, it's not a bad life at all. But if you're anything like my friend and me, something dies inside of you every time you think that you might just retire from this company and that's what you did with your life. If that's you, then keep listening. Because something that he was saying is like, yeah, well, I don't want to be another statistic. I should have a plan B. How do I not have a plan B? And I'm like, okay. It all comes down to having a mindset, like your mindset right for being an entrepreneur. And I wanted to give you really practical advice because I could just come here and tell you, I burned my boats. This is what I'm going to do until I reach a level of success that I have set out for myself. I could just tell you that, and that sounds really nice. What, Ina, are you rich? Do you not have bills? Do I have responsibilities, right? This is me talking as if I were you. This is you telling me, Ina, you are rich. Ina, I can't just quit my job. I'm like, don't quit your job. Keep going at your job. Keep doing the things that you do that are fine to do. But have a different vision for your life and work towards that no matter what happens. So because you already have a job, you're actually in a much better position than anybody else out there to start something new, to start something that you love, because you're already getting a paycheck. Where is the downside? So how do you prevent from being, in that 80% of people, right? How do you make your business be the 20% that made it? I'm going to give you practical advice because, like I said, it's a matter of mindset. You either believe this or you don't, but there's a way for you to start believing it. And I'm about to give you four guidelines that you can start following now so you can start changing your mindset and evolving with your mindset little by little. And point number one, the first thing that you need is to have a clear vision for your life. All right? So if you are fine with staying at your job forever, but you know that that's not what you want to do, I want you to stop thinking of your vision in terms of negative statements, right? Well, I know that I don't want to be in a cubicle all day long. I know that I don't want to retire for this company. I know that I don't want to be doing this later on. That's not a vision. A vision is the positive side, right? I want my life to look like this. I want to do this with my time. I want to be making money doing this. I want to feel like I am achieving something. Your vision has to be much larger, right, than the one that you have right now, which is, just continue your corporate path and retire, and then that will be it. You have to have a different vision and you have to really believe in it. So that takes me to advice number 2, because it's really hard to craft a vision from scratch in your mind. It's very hard to do that, to just say, oh, here's the future I want. let's see how I can make it happen. That is very hard to do. Like with self-motivation, it's extremely hard. So what you want to do is to have role models. And that's my point number 2. Point number 1 is having that vision. Actually writing down your positive statements for what you want your vision to be, your future to be. And then, sorry, every time that I move, the table moves and it shakes. So then, to be able to make that happen, for your brain to visualize it, I want you to have role models that you follow. So I was telling my friend, start finding out there in the entrepreneurial universe the people who have the life you want. Follow them, stalk them on Instagram, stalk them on like Instagram stories, especially because that's where people post their most candid stuff. Like you can see what they're doing every day and what they talk about. I want you to sign up for their freebies so you can start seeing what their email strategy is about. I want you to go out and find out what their story is. So go on your podcasting app and just start looking, just look them up and say like, okay, where were they interviewed, and listen to it and start finding out how long it took them to get to where they are now. And you'll be surprised. You'll see that most people that are successful, that you whose life you want, were not doing this for just a year or 2, sometimes not even 5. 5 is actually where I found like a sweet spot. I found really, really good role models that have been in business for 5 years, and it gives me hope. Because I see them like there's nothing special about them that I can't do myself. So if I stick with this for 5 years, I will make it to that level because I know I can, because I can do it, because I'm learning from all the right people, right? I know I'm doing the right things. So I want you to go and find out who those people are whose life you want. Stalk them, sign up for their freebies, find out when they have launches, study their sales strategy. How are they monetizing what it is that you love to do? And how long have they been doing this for? And learn from their pitfalls, right? They have been interviewed on podcasts, most likely. They have written blog posts about their story, most likely. They've done Facebook Lives telling you their story. Find out what their stories are so you can start to relate, so your brain can start to see a parallel between your journey and theirs, so that you know that it is possible for you to do this. You know what I mean? If this is resonating with you guys, if you guys are listening to this and like, yes, okay, I hear you, I know what I have to do, can you please leave me a comment, give me a like, give me a heart, tell me that you're there? That just helps me to know that like this is not just going to a vacuum. So step number 3, stop thinking about your plan B, you know? So I know people who quit their jobs. They started a business and 4 months later they had to go back to their job because they ran out of money. So I tell people like, that is fine. This is not you falling back on a plan B. This is not you quitting your dream and then going back to corporate. No, this is you making ends meet. The way that I make ends meet as I'm starting my coaching practices, I'm starting my group programs, which by the way, I'll tell you about what's coming up this year, because this year I have a huge plan for programs to help you get where you want to go, like to work through all this stuff, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But the way that I've been paying my bills is by making websites. I don't advertise myself as, I'm gonna make your website, because it's not what I want to do for my vision, right? I don't put myself, as the WordPress girl, right? I am, your friendly neighborhood salary replacement strategy girl. I speak to people who are working full-time who want to start a side business. That's what I do, and that's where I want my business to grow. In the meantime, I need to pay my bills, so I make websites. So for you, it may be continuing at your job. For you, it may be, hey, I quit, but I need to go back to make money. Go back and make the money. You need to pay your bills, but don't give up on the dream, and keep on working and keep on learning and keep on doing the right things. That's all, right? So, but stop having a plan B. Stop giving yourself a deadline that, well, if I don't make it, if I don't go viral by the end of the year, I am just gonna stop working on this and just go back to work. That is exactly how you make it into the 80% of businesses who fail. Because guess what? Doing this there's no immediate gratification. Right? All of this takes time of putting yourself out there over and over and trying things. So you have to love the process. Otherwise, you're just going to burn yourself out and fall back on your plan B. But if you have a plan B and the plan B looks great, why would you even try to make this work? You already have a plan B that you know is fine. So that's why step 3 is stop having a plan B. Stop about the plan B. I'm not telling you to stop paying your bills. Go back to corporate if you need to pay your bills, if you already quit, right? If you haven't quit, don't quit. Keep working, get your paycheck, right? Somebody has to fund this. You have to pay your bills somehow. But don't give up on the dream, which takes me to point number 4, which is the last point, which is to never give up. When you listen to these stories that I just told you about, the people you're going to start following, you will start to hear for these things that they never gave up. It's not like things worked out perfectly for them and then they were successful and now they're on this podcast. It never works out that way. Everybody encounters roadblocks. Everybody has issues. Everybody thinks at one point or another, maybe I should just give up. Everybody does it. But guess what? The people who succeed are the ones who don't give up. So these 4 things, and I'm going to write them here in the comments. Number 1, having a vision for your life that is more than just negative statements. Number 2, find mentors, learn from them, right? What did I call them? Role models, mentors / role models. Learn from them, hear their stories, right? Number 3, stop having a plan B. Don't set a deadline for success. Sometimes success takes 10 years, guys. But if you love what you do and you love the process, you will get there. It's all about number 4, which is never quit. Just don't quit no matter what happens. No matter if you had to get another job, no matter what happens, you continue down the path. So those are the things that prevent you from being in that 80%. What do you guys think? Does that help? Is that helpful in any shape or form? So what I wanted to tell you was, yes, I'm gearing up for a really, really excellent 2019. And you guys will notice that I've actually not been selling a program. I've not been selling really anything over the past few weeks because I am in pre-launch mode. I've been writing the emails, creating the event, because in March I'm gonna have an epic webinar teaching you how to monetize your passion, right? And from there, I'm launching my new program, which is called, and I'm getting a kick out of this already. It's called Ivy League School. IV stands for Idea Validation. It's gonna be a 4-week program, 4-week intensive with a one-on-one component. So it's gonna be a group program, but we are gonna have one-on-one time where we're gonna talk about, okay, which ideas are on the table? What is it that you wanna do? Who is your target audience? We're gonna define that together to the T in detail. We're gonna go out and we're gonna ask them what their struggle is. You're gonna come back, we're gonna parse through the data, and by the end of the 4 weeks, you will know who you're marketing to, right? What are they struggling with that you can help them with right now? And you will know that you can actually monetize your passion project. You will know this in your veins because you will have talked to people who have told you, yes, I would buy this from you. So we are gonna work through that, how to monetize your passion in 4 weeks intensive, by going out and talking to people, by working together to define your target audience, by working together and parsing through all the ideas that you have. By the way, during that time is when you're really gonna get clarity on your idea. We're not actually going out and getting an LLC. You're not creating social media accounts. We're not doing anything like that. We're just gonna convince you in your core that there is an idea in you, that people will pay for it, and that you already know who those people are and how to market to them, and that you know that you're ready to monetize your idea. Like that, yes, this would happen if you started to take steps now. It's going to be, like I said, a low-cost program because I want it to be really low-hanging fruit. I want it to be a no-brainer for you guys to join this, because there is no downside to finding out whether your idea has legs before you even start. So that's basically what I had for you tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you have any questions about any of this, all you have to do is post it in the comments. I'm always in this group. I always respond personally in this group. And I am super happy that you're here. Welcome to our new members. I forgot to say that in the beginning. Welcome Richard. Welcome Rosie. Welcome Bree, Carolyn, Lisa. Thank you guys so much for joining. I'm super happy that you're here. If you get a chance, introduce yourself in the group. You say, hi, my name is this, and this is what I would like to do. Happy to be here. So that everybody can say hi. All right? Okay, guys, that's all I had for you. Thank you so much for coming, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Corporate Trailblazers podcast with Ina Coveney. And this is a part where I ask you to subscribe to this podcast if you haven't already, and to go to iTunes and leave me a review and a star rating. It really does help people find the show when you do that, and I would really appreciate it. You can also connect with me on Instagram at Ina Coveney and on Facebook at facebook.com/female trailblazer. All right, guys, I hope to see you there. Bye.